Welcome to video 2 on the How to Google site. I'm going to have a look now, still on our page 1. Remember, we've done 2 pages, but we've got nothing in the example page 2 as of yet. So I'm just going to continue on page 1. And if you recall, we put a video in, some collapsible text, a bit of an image, and a document. So when I've finished doing one item on the web page, I always like to put a little divider in, so it's just a bit of an underline. So as I say, I've finished that section. Now, a lovely little tool is this one, the image carousel. So what you can do here is bring it up and you've got to put at least 2 images on. So upload an image. Let's say we'll just pick the first 3 or 4 on here, so we'll stick that in. Add another one. Upload an image. Stick that one in. Upload. And you can get these from anywhere. You can select or upload it from your drive. I'm just going into my drive here, so that's where I'm getting my images from at the moment. You can see you can select image. So let's go into select image. And again, you can go URL, Google image, photos. So let's go here and we'll say, let's have a look. Just put Google it, for example. We'll stick that in. And then we'll go back to upload. And we'll go to images in here. Go to recent ones. Let's have a look what I've used recently. So it can, quite difficult to see them on here. That's the only problem. Right, let's have a look what we've got now. We'll say insert, and it's going to put all of those in. If I bring that again to the middle, you can see that it's actually, I'll just come up with it so you can see that. See there, it's centralised it for you. Right, now you can actually put text in these, but let's have a look at the preview and see how our image carousel actually looks when we're on the website view. Just scroll down past our other bits and pieces that we've already made. So where we go, so it gives you some arrows and click along. Now obviously some of these sizes are off because I was just picking random images, but you get the idea. So if you have pictures of students carrying out work or something like that, it's a nice little image carousel that somebody can look at. Or it might be some images, if you're creating a website just for a specific session, it might be images that's related to the content of that session. It might be some examples of how to carry out a certain task that the students can use to build up an understanding, to build up sequencing skills, to ultimately get to where they want to be by the end of that session. So that looks to be functioning okay. So we'll go back to edit mode, go down, and I'll put my divider in. Now, let's have a look at what else we've got on here. So we've got a button. Now, directly under, obviously, our image carousel that we've just done, there's a button. And it's basically an action button. So we can go contact us, and then we can put the link in there. So I can put in there my email. Okay, so we can insert that there. And it looks ridiculous over there. So what you can do if you want is you can stretch that all the way over. So it goes all the way over the page. And again, a lovely divider in. So let's have a look at that on the preview. Well, there you go. So if I clicked on that, that should take me to my emails. And it will bring up, there you go, Ian Hall, same side, you put your subject in, send the email. So that's working well. Okay with that, so I'll come out of preview, back to editing mode. And now let's have a look what we could put on page 2. Now in here, what we could do is put some forms in. So if you imagine on page 1 of a website that you may create for a session, you could put examples of and building students up of how to actually undertake small tasks that they're going to use to produce something larger for you. Now on page 2, that's where all this could happen. So click again and we get our wheel. So bring some text up. Do we want a heading or title? Let's go title. Task number 1. And we'll centralise that so it looks a bit better. Personal preference of mine, that you can have it any way you want, it doesn't matter. So task number 1. So we could actually now check on their learning of the smaller tasks that they've done. So we could put a Google form in. So we click on that. And the good thing about Google Forms is you can make them into a quiz. So you can see I've got a few quizzes here that we've already done. So if I'll just select the one at the top, pre-enrollment quiz. So put that in. Lose that. And you can look at that and say, right, okay, let's centralize it. That looks more central. Right, let's have a look at preview. Well, task number 1, they've got a quiz, and you can see there they've got to put their full name in. Their email address in. And they've got to put the full name in there. And the reason they're getting the full name in there is because this quiz has got attached to it a certificate. So if the student gets above 70% of it correct, they will get a certificate emailed to their email address that they've had to put in here. So you can see where I put this red asterisk there. That means it's a required field. They have to fill those two in. You see those? So they have to fill them in, and they'll work their way down and have a go at those questions. So I'll just show you how that works. So obviously I will put that email in. Here I'll put my name in. And then how would you solder a copper fitting with a blowtorch? How is copper tube bent from challenge number 1? So this actual pre-enrollment was this quiz is based on an ebook that the all of construction staff actually made. So how is copper tube bent? So that's where they're getting the information from to be able to answer this quiz. So it's a bending machine. In challenge 1, you saw junior hacksaw. What would a plumber use this for? So we would go cutting copper tube, and then the student would submit it. And then obviously on the live site, they will get their scores back. We won't see that on this preview section. So that's lovely. Task 1. Now you might want to, in task 1, go underneath and explain what it is. So in the quiz below, you will demonstrate your depth knowledge from the session this morning. Okay, and we'll go centralized again. So go back to preview. So in the quiz below, you will demonstrate your depth of knowledge from the session this morning. So they're going to do that. That's great. That fits in lovely. Scroll down. Looks okay. So that's task 1. Stick a divider in, and then we can go. And again, I think we went title, didn't we? Centralized. If we go task 2, number 2, centralize it again. Right, so we've put a bit of an explanation as to what task 2 is. They might not actually do task 2 on the actual website. It might just give them an idea of what task 2 is. So I want to insert something here. So I want to insert a document, for example. So we'll click on documents, and I'm going to find some form of an assignment for them to do. Now, there might not be anything down here that it's showing me. Well, let's have a look at that one, reflective journal. So let's click on that. And then we're going to have a preview of that to see what it is. It is better to actually have stuff planned, what you want to go on your website. As I'm going through this, I'm just grabbing stuff that's recently used, as you've seen. So task 2, undertake this. So let's have a scroll through. So it's a reflective journal that we ask people to work on. And it's more of a teacher's one, this. It's a teaching and learning reflective journal in term 1, 2 to 3 in the review of the first year. So this will be located on the Google Classroom. So it's just an example of what you can put on there. So if you had an assignment for your group and you would put that assignment in, and what you can do is sort of when you're delivering from the website, so they've all worked on this, then they can have a look through what's in the assignment. So use the tutor can say, right, okay, we'll freeze there. Now you've all done the quiz and we've had a review of that. Let's have a look at task 2 and let's just discuss how you're going to begin this before you start it individually on your own on the Google Classroom. And you can talk them through what you're expecting from them. So that's a nice little tool that you can use. So I'll stop video 2 here. We'll just review what we've done. So we went to example page number 2. But before we did that, we inserted some more information on our page 1. And what we did was we created an image carousel, which was over here. We obviously put our dividers in, and then we did a contact us button, which was this here. It's like an action button, a call to action button. So if a person clicks on that, they can send an email or it'll bring up contact details, etc. Then we went to page 2. And on page 2, we inserted 2 tasks for the students to undertake. The first one was a quiz. So they complete that quiz. And then underneath was a task, but it's not done directly from the website. There is a way to do that, which we'll look at in future videos. So it was basically the blank document that you're going to get the students to work on Google Classroom, where you can introduce it to the students and just guide them through how you would want them to undertake the task and what skills they are going to demonstrate that they have a depth of knowledge on from the morning session, and you're going to evaluate that via this assignment. Okay, so that concludes video 2. Hope to see you in video 3.